So let's talk about I will give you a brief about inbuilt functions. So basically what happens is when this SQL server was getting designed, and at the point of time when this tool was discovered, like Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, at that same point of time, there are some functions that are already written. So what basically a function is? So function is something in which you drop some parameters. In which you drop some parameters. And what are parameters? Parameters are basically values. So for example, if I want to add something, I can create a function like this. I will take a is equal to input. Like I will take the input value of a, and you will take one b is equal to input. And after that, what you will do, we will create a function. So yes, just for example, I am creating a function with fun name. And inside that function, I will pass a comma b. And inside the function, I will give a formula like t is equal to a plus b. And then I will print my t. What this means? This basically means like every time this is a function. So what it means is every time if I will put a value a and b, it will add my value and will give me the output. So you don't have to care about this thing. You just have to drop this thing. Automatically your function will give you the value of addition. So there is something known as inbuilt function. So for example, I have given you this example. So for example, there is microwave. And inside microwave, you have some raw materials. And you want to cook your raw materials. Now what you will do is, you will put your raw materials inside microwave. And after that, after 15 or 20 minutes, you will get your material back. Like you will close the microwave and you will get your cooked food. So at the same point of time, you don't know the functionality of microwave. You don't know what's happening inside it. And you are not aware of it. But on the bigger perspective, you know that like this microwave will help me to cook my food. But you don't know the inbuilt function inside this. Like what actually microwave is doing to cook my food. That is something known as inbuilt. So there are some inbuilt function in SQL Server in which you just have to drop your values or your parameters and you will get a result out of it. So for example, there is something known as concat function. Concat. So concat basically means to add things. If you are using concat, it means you are adding some character values or adding some string values. So for example, if I have written select concat, so every time when you are using a function, you will see this parenthesis. So if you are seeing a name along with a parenthesis like this, which means it's a function and it's the inbuilt function. Now what I will do is, I will give my first parameter as Durgesh and I will give my second parameter as Yadav. So this concat function is capable of adding the strings. So if you will give this concat function 10 strings, it will add 10 strings for you. Please turn off your mic. So now if I will just drag it and will run it, it is adding my Durgesh Yadav. So Durgesh and Yadav is getting added. So this concat function is used for adding string values. For example, there is no space in my Durgesh Yadav. So if I want to give a space, I will put a comma in between and I will pass a space in between. And now it will give me Durgesh space Yadav. So basically concat is a function which has a functionality of adding the value. You don't know how this functionality is created, but you can use it by passing the values and that values will get added. Is this point clear to all of you? Okay. So same like this, there are different inbuilt functions. The main agenda was to explain you inbuilt functions. I have dropped the video of inbuilt functions for you. You can watch that video, but in that video, there is a question that is very important that I'm going to tell you now. And even if you don't know anything, then also you will be able to solve this question after I will explain you. So let's take an example of substring function. So everybody knows that substring is basically a sub part of a string. For example, if I am writing my name Durgesh Yadav, then DUR is a substring, GESH is a substring, GE is a substring, ADA is a substring, DAV is a substring. So basically all these things are sub part of my name. So these all are substring. Is it clear till now? Now, one thing more I want to tell you, if you want to comment out anything on your SQL server, you have to put Control K and C. If you will drag something, for example, if I want to comment out this thing, then I will put Control K and C. Then this thing will get commented out. The command for this is CTRL plus K plus C. Is this thing clear? How to comment out something? Okay. So now let's again comment out this. So now you know what is sub part of a string, and that is something known as substring. So for example, if I want to take out starting 4 letters from my name. If I want to take out starting 4 letters from my name, what I will do is I will write select, I will write substring function, and again this parenthesis. Now this substring function takes 3 parameters. So you have to understand this substring function takes 3 parameters, which means 3 type of values it takes. And if you have to drop all 3 kind of values. So for what is the first value? First value is the string value in which you want to take out a substring. So here in my example, I will take a name Bangalore. So my string from which I want to take out the subparts is Bangalore. Now, what is the second parameter? Second parameter tells us from where we have to start. So I want to start from the first character. And the third parameter tells us how many occurrences I want. For example, if I'm starting from first letter and I want 4 occurrences, then first, second, third, fourth. So BANG is the output. So I will take 4 here, for example, and I will give it a name as substring. And let's run it. Bang. So this is something known as substring. So substring is used for taking out the subpart from a string. So for example, if I am writing 2 here, tell me what will be the output? Tell me what will be the output? The output will be ANGA, which means starting from the second letter, and we have to take the 4 occurrences. So are you clear with substring?
I have question, Durgesh.
Ask.
Like you explained the substring in the previous class also, right? That person thing.
Whoa, that is something known as like.
Oh, okay, that was like operator. So,
Not like
so,
operator. This is substring.
so we can't use like operator here.
Look, I just understand. Substring operator is for different purpose. You can use like, but just let me understand what you actually want to ask. Basically, like operator is a different thing.
Okay, so what is the use of like these two are using different what do we say scenarios?
Substring is very powerful inbuilt function. You will
Okay,
use it many of the times. For example, just understand. I will give you an example. Just wait for some time. You will
okay,
understand this thing. Just wait for some time. So this is something known as substring. Now there is something known as char index. You will get your answer, Anmol, don't worry, in this class only. So let's talk about what is char index. For example, if I have written select and I have written char index. Now char index is a function which is used to tell you index of something, like index of a letter. So for example, if I want to check A in my name, Bangalore. If I want to find out A in Bangalore, tell me, what is the index of A in Bangalore? 2. So it will give you output as 2. Now, you are seeing that you have A at second position also, and you have A at 5th position also. But it will give you something at second position. So char index always gives you the first occurrence index. It will always give this Pooja. This function is basically meant like a way. If you are using char index, it will always give you the first index where it will encounter A. It will not give you the 5th index. It will give you first index only. So for example, if there are more A here, like A, and here it is also A, then also it will give you only 2, because the index of A is 2 and it starts from 1. So B is the first index, A is the second index. That's why it's giving you 2. Got this point? Why, how is char index working here? Now, for example, I give you a question, like this question is asked in interviews. So my question is, I have a table, and in that table, there is a column email ID. There is a column email ID. Pooja and Anmol, I told you the same thing. Wait for some time, you will understand where to use it. And when you will be very pro, then you will use it everywhere. Just give me some time to explain you. So let's take email ID here. And this is the only thing that I'm going to explain you. So just understand there is a table in which there is an email ID column. And in email ID column, there are values like this. Abhishek @gmail.com. There is a value Durgesh hotmail.com. And there is the value Akanksha @hotmail.com. Now these are three values in my email ID column. These are three values in my email ID column. Now I have to write a query. I have to write a query to get the username from all these. So you only want a username, and username will be Abhishek for the row first, Durgesh for the row second, and Akanksha for the row third. Now from this above table and column, you have to derive something in which you are getting only first name. Tell me how you will do it. Yeah, you will use substring, but how? Just write it for me. How you will use substring here? Can anybody tell me the query? Who will tell me the query for this? Madhu, it's wrong. Not like Hotmail, what it means. It will give you nothing. Like operator is for a complete string. I only want username. If you want to check not like, then you have to check it on complete string. I want sub part of this string. So this is my complete string, abhishek@gmail.com. From this, I want to take out username. So what happens is many of the times when you are filling some information on internet or YouTube or anything, they give you by default usernames. So they give you those usernames by taking it out from your complete mail ID. So that is the main thing that I'm asking you here. How you will use substring and char index to get, okay, Srishti has given me the answer. Let's check what she has done. So she has written something like this. Select substring email, comma 1, comma char index @email -1. Correct. It's correct. Now I will tell you how it's correct. So let's do one thing.
Durgesh, Rajniti said, so can we take one approach like we'll
Tell
first
me
search
your
for
thing.
we'll first search for at the rate, and
Yeah.
from the at the rate, whatever the characters will be in the towards the left, we can take that one. Means we
Same
can
approach,
use in string substring both kind of
same
thing.
approach she has done.
Hmm?
She has done same approach. See, but she has used substring. I will tell you. I'm creating a table on behalf of this. Just wait. Emails. And we'll create a column, email ID, and we'll give it a varchar 20. And now we'll insert some values inside this. Insert into emails values, and first value will be abhishek@gmail.com. Second value will be durgesh@hotmail.com. And third value will be sparsh@rediffmail.com. Just you have to drop it like this because there is a single column only. Now let's use mode. Three rows affected. So let's check select start from emails. So these are your three emails, three email IDs. Now you have to fetch out the username. So I will tell you the approach now. We will write select substring. And you know a substring takes three parameters. Now, for example, if I want my username, I want to have my starting index from the index 1 and I have to take the occurrences till at the rate. If I will take occurrences till at the rate, then I can easily get the name which is before the at the rate. The name which is before at the rate is the only name that I want to fetch out. So what I will do is, first I will write the column name on which I am doing the things. So I will write email ID here. Now for the username, I have to start from the first character. So I will write my first index. After that, till where I have to go, how many occurrences I have to take. So I have to take occurrences till at the rate. So what I will do is, I will first take out the index of at the rate. So I will write char index and I will take out the index of at the rate from my email ID column. So now if I will take this thing from emails, let's run this for now. What it will give me. So it's giving me, I have started from first and I have taken the, I'm giving here, like I want occurrences till at the rate. So see, at the rate is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the first name, Abhishek at the rate is at 9th index. So I have counted till at the rate. But in the output, I don't want at the rate. So I will write -1 here. Which means from the third parameter where we give how many occurrences I want, I am subtracting -1 because I don't want at the rate in my output. And now I will run it. So it's giving me all the names. So this is the thing you have to use because in all the emails, at the rate is not at the same position. You cannot hard code it because in every name at the rate is at different position. So you have to build a logic for it. And this is the logic that you have to use. All of you got it, like how to take out the first name from this complete email ID. Okay, Firoz. So Firoz, just tell me, substring will take three parameters. First thing is from where you want to apply the substring. So I want to apply my substring on email ID column. Now, from where you want to start, आपको start कहाँ से करना है? तो I want to start from the first character. because I want my username. So I will write 1 here. Now, the third parameter tells me how many occurrences I want. So for example, if I have written 4 here, so what it will do is, from the name Abhishek @gmail.com, tell me if I have written something like this, what will be my output? Firoz, tell me what will be my output? The output will be Abhi. Now, Firoz, for example, if somebody tells me that the index of 8, the at the rate is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If someone has told me the index of at the rate is 9, then what will be my output? Then my output will be Abhishek @ because it will start from 1 or it will take 9 occurrences. So it will take @ as well. But I don't want @ in my name. So I will subtract 1 occurrence from here. So 9 minus 1 is 8. So it will give you 3 parameters: email ID, comma 1, comma 8. Now it will give you Abhishek as an output. Is this thing clear to you? Is this thing clear to all of you? Okay. So these are the 2 things that I have to tell you in the inbuilt functions part. Now you just have to watch the video. There are different other functions as well that we can't take in a single class because there are different functions. But all the important functions I had covered in the video. This was the main thing that I have to explain you. As other things, you can easily watch a video and you can understand that. Now we'll start with the group by and having clause. If you have any questions in the char index and substring part, you can ask it. Any questions in the group by and like in the char index and substring part?
Durgesh, if you want only the domain part, okay, from the mail ID.
Yeah.
So let us say only we want hotmail.com or gmail.com, like this, okay. So in that case, how we can do that one?
Just think of yourself. I will tell you, I know the answer. I know how to do it. Just you tell me how you will do it.
It will start searching from @ till end. Okay. So starting position should be @. Then ending can be anything. Okay.
Anything. Just tell me what will be the ending.
Char index. Ending.
This will be your perfect ending.
Okay.
Because if you are going to take only domain part, then also your domain will always be lesser than your length of complete name. That's why I've used something like this. And you have to add +1 here because you don't want @ gmail.com.
Okay, +1 we are taking means because we are.
I am taking +1 because if you will get the index of @, so the index of @, if you will take, then it will give you @ also in the output. But you don't want, in the previous example, we are subtracting one because we are starting from first character. Now we are starting from at the rate. So we don't want at the rate. So that's why I'm using +1 here.
Yes, yes. Got your point, yeah.
And why I have used length email ID here? Because I want to give here the maximum bandwidth. And this maximum bandwidth is always more than the domain name, because complete name Durgesh Yadav will always be greater than Yadav. That's why I have given the maximum bandwidth here, so that I can start from the at the rate part and I can take it till the end. These all the things that you are asking, all these things are in that video. I have given you a gist about it. When you will watch it, you will completely understand it.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
And question is also there. The question that you have asked, that question is there and completely explained.
Sorry, Durgesh, which video you are talking about? Which video? That
Yesterday I have given a video. There are 5 videos. If you go to Drive, there are 5 videos. You have to watch the 5th one.
fifth one. Okay, okay. I am yet to view that video. Okay. So okay, no problem. I'll totally look into it. Yeah.
So any other question from anyone? If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm ready to answer. Any questions? Okay. So let's start with the group by and having yours. So now let's understand what is group by and what is, like, why we use group by and all these things. So let's take an example of orders. Let's take an example of orders. So suppose there are different people, like there are 10 customers. 10 customers, or let's take there are 4 customers. 4 customers are there. So first customer takes an iPhone of 1 lakh rupees. Then the second customer comes into the picture and he takes a MacBook of 2.5 lakh rupees. Then again the first person came and he wants a tablet of 50,000 rupees. Then the third person came and he wants an camera of 40k rupees. Then again the second person came into the picture and he wants a pen of 50 rupees. Now the fourth person came into the picture and he wants a lamp of 40 rupees. Then again fourth person came and he wants an iPad of 50,000 rupees. Now suppose this is my shop. This is my shop in which all these things are there. And these are my 4 customers. Customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, customer 4. So now, for example, if I want to ask, what are the total sales by each customer? If I want to ask what are the total sales by each customer, then by seeing this, what you will do is you will take first he write 1 lakh rupees, then 50k, and you will tell me the total sales by first person is 1,50,000. You will manually add it right now. So now, if I am asking you total sales by each customer, like for every customer, what was the total sale? So tell me, for which thing I will create my groups? If I want total sales by each customer, then what will be my group? For which thing I will create the groups?
Group by customer ID.
Okay. So what I will do is I will create groups of customer ID. So first what I will do is I will take out distinct customer ID. Like it's not the same way in query. I'm just explaining you, so I'm telling you. So just tell me how many distinct customer IDs are there? How many distinct customer IDs are there? Four. So it will create 4 groups. First group is for first customer ID. Then second group is for second customer ID. Third group is for third customer ID. And fourth group is for fourth customer ID. Now we have to take out the total sales by each customer, which means we have to see this value, this numerical value. So just tell me, for the first group, for the first person, what all values will come in the group? Tell me, what all values will come into the group? 1 lakh, comma, 50,000. In the second group, what values will come?
2.5 lakhs, then 50,000.
And 50,000.
Hmm.
For the third group, what values will come?
40,000 and 40,000, 40,000, then 55,000.
5,000.
For the fourth customer, there is only, sorry, for the third group, there is only one value,
Yeah, 40,000. Yeah.
only 40,000. And for the fourth customer, you will get 40 rupees, comma, 50,000. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4 are my groups, and in all these groups, there are the values that I want in the groups. Because I am doing groups, I am creating groups on my customer ID, and I am dropping all the values that corresponds to those customer IDs. Not what will happen is these sum will create like sum. Now we will do the sum. So for the first group, what will be the sum? 1.5 lakh. For the second group, what will be the sum? 3 lakh. For the third group, what will be the sum? 40,000 only. And for the fourth group, what will be the sum? For 50,000, 40. So this is something known as group by. So if you want to do any sort of aggregation, along with column, inside the groups, then group by will help you. Now I will ask you a question, and then I will tell you the query. Now tell me, if I want product wise total sales. If I want product wise total sales, then what will be in my group by clause? Product name. Product name or product, you can say anything. Product name or product, anything. So my group by in group by will be product. So I will write select. Suppose that table is orders table. Select from orders. And in group by, what it will be? Group by product name. Now I want product wise total sales, which means I will use sum function because I am adding here. So sum of which thing? sum of amount from orders group by product name. Now, if I want to show the product name and the total amount, then I will take product name as well. This is my output. For every product, there will be a group, and in those group, all the values for that product will be dropped and then added. Is this thing clear? We'll take one more example, but right now it's clear to all of you. Or you have any question?
Clear. Karma.
Okay. So at any point of time, when you have to do a aggregation, based on some groups or data, then you will use group by clause. So group by clause is used for aggregation only. So now I will give you example why for aggregation only. Let's take one table. So I will take one of the table here. I will use my class 5 database. Hold for a minute. Okay, so now we'll take our table, select star from orders. So now this is my orders table. Now I want count of people in each, like I want count of people in each payment ID. So now tell me how I will do it. If I want count of people in each payment ID, like how many people are there in different payment IDs? So first thing that you will tell me is which aggregation I will use. Here I will use which aggregation?
Count.
Count, correct. Now, which thing will be my group? In group by which thing will be used?
Payment ID.
Payment ID, correct. Okay. So now I will write select from orders table group by payment ID, and I will take payment ID as well to show so that I get a meaningful output, comma count of what?
Customer ID.
See, if you will do count of customer ID, your output will be wrong.
Oh yeah, it will count
Order
the
ID?
customer ID.
Count of order ID, because for every order there will be a separate order ID. Count of order ID spelling is this as total count, and let's run this. Now for payment ID 3, the count was 1000. So the payment ID 6, the count was 649. For the payment ID 1, the count was 50. Now I want to introduce one more thing in this. Now this is the simple query in which you are taking out, like, for every payment ID, how many customers are there. But now I want for each month, for each payment ID, how many customers are there. So I want count of people for each month in each payment ID. Now, how many groups will be there?
2 groups.
First group will be the bigger
Month
group.
and payment ID.
So bigger group will be month and then payment ID. So there are 2 groups now. So what you will do is you will add a month here. Month of which thing? Month of order date. You will add month of order date. And tell me, is your query correct now? If
You
your
will write month in group by also.
you have to write month in group by also. Why? I will tell you. So now this is a very important thing that I'm going to tell you now. Every time in group by clause, if you are using any aggregation along with a column name, you have to put that column name in the group by clause. For example, if I am using 6 to 7 columns here, I have to drop all the 6 to 7 columns in the group by clause. So along with this aggregation, if you are using any number of columns, you have to drop all those columns in the group by clause. That is mandatory. Is everybody clear? If you are using aggregation along with the column name, you have to drop all the column names in the group by clause. That is something, a hack of group by clause, that you have to be very focused on, because many of the times you don't put the things in the group by. For example, if I'm not putting month order date in group by clause, if I'm not putting it, what will happen? It will tell me like order date is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either aggregate function or group by clause, which means you have not put this thing in the group by clause and you are using aggregation here. So if you are using aggregation along with some column names, you have to put all those column names and functions that you are using in the group by clause. Is it clear to all of you?
But for payment ID, we are not using any aggregation function.
Why you will use for payment ID? Payment ID is a column. Just understand, count is the aggregation function. Along with
I'm
count,
saying we have written in group by now. Group by payment ID we have written. But for this, we are not using any function, aggregation
again, I
function
am
for payment
repeating.
ID.
Pooja,
But still, we
again,
are writing in the group by statement.
I will tell you again. I'm repeating the same thing that I have told you. Every point of time, if you are using any aggregate function, and along with that aggregate function, if you are using columns, any column, 1 column, 2 column, 5 column, 10 columns, any number of columns, you have to drop all those columns in the group by clause.
Okay.
So right now, for example, if I will remove payment ID here, and I have used payment ID here, which means groups are of payment ID and order date, like payment ID and month. But if you will run this, are you able to understand the output? Like for the 4th month, which payment ID has count of 58? You don't know. That's why you are using here payment ID as well. payment ID. Okay. Okay, comma.
So you have to use comma. Yeah.
So now you are able to understand. Let's make it more clear. We will do a order by clause. Order by month. Just give it a name as month here, and order by month clause. Now you will be able to understand. They see for the first month, for first month, fifth payment ID, there are 16 count. For the first month, payment ID 3 has 29 count. For the first month, payment ID 2 has 4 count. For the first month, payment ID 4 has 68 count. Now this output is more understandable. So see, if you are using count here, and if you are using any number of columns, you have to drop those columns in the group by clause. But see, if you are using anything in the group by, and if you are not using it here, that will not give you an error. This will not give you an error. If you are using it in group by and you are not using it in the select clause, it will not give you any error. But you will not be able to understand what is this. What kind of output is this? What is this 58 and 13? So if you are using anything in group by clause, it's not mandatory to use it in select clause. But if you are using anything in select clause, that is mandatory to put inside group by clause. Is this clear to all of you?
How will we write in the group by statement? Like we should follow some order. Like first of all, we have written payment ID, then we have written month.
No. That you can drop in your own way. It's not a pattern. For example, you can jumble it as well. If you want month first, you can write month also. But for writing a better query, so that it's more understandable, try to give a same order that you have given in the select clause, so that the interviewer will understand that you are a good query writer. Clear? Or any other questions you people have in this? Is there any question from anyone? Please watch this recording once more after the class. So tomorrow we will talk about order of execution. So tomorrow also we will talk about group by only. So tomorrow also we'll talk on group by. We will solve questions on group by. We will talk on group by, and along with that, we will learn what is order of execution in a SQL query. Very important topic. So tomorrow we'll solve some questions on group by and having. Tomorrow we will understand group by and having more deeply, and we'll try to understand order of execution of a SQL query. So that's all for this class today. Please try to watch recording number 5 and recording this recording. Please try to watch it if you want to understand each and everything clearly. That's all.